Hey everyone, welcome back and thanks for watching 4 Low Rocks. Today on this episode of 4 Low Rocks, it's the Taser JL. The installation of this programmer for the JL Wrangler is relatively straightforward and pretty simple, and we'll get to that right after this. Hello everyone and welcome to 4 Low Rocks. Today we're installing the Taser JL from Z Automotive, and I'm really excited to be bringing it to you. The Taser JL is quite often referred to as a tuner, but I like to think of it as being a configuration programmer, as it gives you access to settings within the Jeep systems that are otherwise not available to you. Handy options include changing tire sizes, gear ratios, disabling the automatic park feature, disconnecting the sway bar in two-wheel drive, and many other features. Installation begins by updating the firmware in the device. To do this, you first download and install the ZPU software from the Z Automotive site, then connect the Taser to the computer using the supplied USB cable. Using the ZPU software, you can then use the Find feature to establish a connection, then click the Check for Updates bar. If an update is available, the ZPU application will guide you through the update process. Then it's off to the Jeep for the physical installation. The installation begins by removing the two connectors from the security control module located just under the dash, just above the onboard diagnostics or OBD port. You might find it helpful to remove the panel below the steering wheel for better access, as it simply pops right off. You can then connect the Taser to the OBD port and you're ready to marry the Taser to the JL systems. So everything you're going to do with the Taser JL is done with the system on but the engine not running. So press the start button twice, wait for the system to power up. Once we're in this menu, everything we're going to work with is here in the EVIX display, or the Engine Vehicle Information Center, or system, pardon me. And we're going to march down until we get to the audio display, just like we have here. And then almost everything you're going to do within the JL Taser, or the Taser JL, pardon me, is done with holding the left arrow key down and tapping the cancel button. So there we are at Marry. We're going to hold the left down and we're going to say OK. And there we go, marrying. Well, it's still busy. Let's try again. Okay, now it's counting back from 14. It's marrying the unit to the Jeep as it counts down. And now it says it's married. And now we should be able to see other settings. There's performance, and we're going to go ahead and set that. And you see the tire says 32.5. Well, that's the standard 33 BFG KO2s that came out of the factory on the car. And so we just put 35s on here, and we're going to go ahead and set this at 34.5 because that's where I measured the new BFGs. Okay, so we have 34.46 or 34.53. That is the closest to what I have on the vehicle, so I'm going to leave that there. And you can see we've entered the LightShow settings. We can choose to accept that, and we can go through different light settings to display different things, like you saw in the opening splash display. We've got the clear check engine lights, which is a really handy feature. If you ever get that pesky light, you can get rid of it here, but you might want to read the codes first just to make sure you're not throwing a valid code. You can UnMarry, which is something you might want to do later on in life if you sell the JL, you don't like what the Taser JL is doing for you, or you just simply want to take it in maybe for service and you want to take those settings out of the vehicle. Performance is a big one. This is one where a lot of people are going to use because they might change their tire size, they might change the gear ratio in their pumpkins, and so on and so forth, and you'll do that all here in performance. TPMS, this is another big one for those of us who off-road often enough and we want to lower the tire pressures in our tires as we head off-road. The TPMS is kind of a nasty little display that comes up and reminds you that your tires are low pressure. Maybe you want to set your threshold a bit lower than that so that it won't come on while you're out on the trail. I personally don't mind it too much, but I have set it to 20 psi so I don't have to worry about it when I'm on the trail. So the radio function here lets you do things like enable your backup camera, or even use a separate camera that you might later on someday patch into the Uconnect system if you want to have a forward-facing camera. The Taser JL folks call it a cargo camera. You can also enable a DVD or CD player, or DVD or CD player in the radio. The lighting is something that I'm really interested in because my Jeep did not come with the 4-way Mopar lighting switch, but I have it and I'm going to install it in the future. And this allows me to enable it without having to take it back to the dealer, just like changing the tire size is something I no longer have to go to the dealer for either. Off-road, there are several features in here, such as being able to lock your brakes for crawling, lock all four if you're going to get out of the car. There are all kinds of things you can do here. One of the things that I'm really interested in is being able to disconnect the front sway bar and keep it disconnected in two-wheel drive, and also enable a higher speed for re-enabling the front sway bar, because currently it reconnects at about 18 miles an hour when you're on the trail. And that's easy to get to in between obstacles. I'd like it to be a little bit higher than that. 20 to 22 miles an hour would suit me just fine if I can make it do that. And there are some other settings in here that are of interest to some people, and they're fully explained on the Z Automotive website. And then you have the Taser JL version number. This is currently 11.06, and you saw me update the firmware before I came out here and did the work in the vehicle. And then there's a full reboot. That's so if you want to just completely reset everything that you've done with the Taser JL so far. Say you want to reset it all and then unmarry the JL or the Taser so that you can take it into the dealer and have some work performed on it, or however you want to take care of it. The reboot should reset everything for you. So that wraps it up for the installation of the Taser JL. I hope you liked what you saw today. If you're interested in learning more about the Taser JL, please visit the Z Automotive website. And come back and watch more episodes of 4 Low Rocks right here on YouTube. But before you leave, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and the little bell icon if you want notifications. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Until next time, happy wheeling.